Hello, and welcome to Transformation Tuesday. This is the place where I share some specifics out of my own transformation journey. I'm Sandra Allen Lovelace, and I'm a transformation coach. And I started this series by request. Let me tell you about a recent situation. Now, I've been on my transformation journey for probably 5 years now. And it did surprise me, actually. I knew what it was going on, but the impact of it I wasn't really aware of it until afterward. It was very recent. Now, it was a small group of women that had come together, and I went over and sat down. I've been part of these kinds of groups for more than half a century. Didn't bother me at all. I just thought, I wonder what this is going to be like. Okay, fine. I went and I sat down, and then the other women, I think there were 6 other women, started looking at each other. Well, who's in charge? Who's the leader? And I thought, wait a minute, this is a small group of women and nobody knows who's leading. Uh-oh. And my antenna went up. And really, I had only been a couple of times. I was a newbie. And the other women didn't know. And I thought, oh, well, I'll just step over and ask the person in charge of this whole event what we're actually supposed to be doing in the small groups. I'll take care of that. And I stopped. I caught myself. I thought, wait a minute. I'm not in charge here. I'm not the leader. They might not know who it is, but it isn't me. Oh, Sandra, that's some of your old behavior coming up here. That's the old Sandra. Oh, let's just see how this unfolds when I don't do what I used to do while I'm aware of it. And so I sat there and people passed around, oh, what about this? Or what about this? And the next person who seemed to be the woman that could be in charge, they kind of looked to her. She said, oh, no, I'm not a leader. I'm not a leader. She knew. And I gave her the eyebrows like, you're right. If you're not the leader, then you're not the leader. And one of the women just took over. She said, okay, well, I guess we could talk about something. And I thought, oh, what's this going to be? I don't know what did I sign up for coming and sitting in this group? And once again, when she asked the opening question, why don't we introduce ourselves? Just give your name and a little bit about yourself. And I thought, ooh, what am I going to reveal? This is a group of women I really don't know. I've only met them, I think, once before, and some of them, not all of them. And actually, and then I thought, ooh, there was another younger woman across the group, and she looked really hesitant, very closed in. I thought, I feel the way she does. And the person leading said, oh, and let's start with you. And she chose that woman, that young woman that was really hesitant. And I thought, oh no, the leader isn't aware of what's going on with other people. And then she caught herself and said, well, and she gave that young lady's name. Oh, let's just say Jane. Oh, well, this is Jane. And hello, Jane. And then went to the next, because the young lady wasn't ready to speak. It was so clear. And then she went to the next woman, who was someone who had been there more, was regular. And so she felt more comfortable. And she just gave her name. And we went around. But my antenna were up even higher, playing all kinds of vibrations into my body. I was really uncomfortable. And I thought, ooh, I don't want to be here. And it didn't really go too well. It just carried on in that vein. And then at one point it came around to, and what about you, Sandra? Why don't you tell us about something, whatever. And I thought, I'm not prepared for that. I don't want to answer that question. That goes too deep into my life with people that I don't know anything about. And I'm really not. And I went into the actual person that I am. I'm an introvert. You might not believe that, now look, I've had a lot of training in living as an extrovert pretty much my whole life, over 70 years. Uh, and so it's a comfortable place for me to be. Or as one of my friends says, you can be a little bit of both, a little introvert, a little extrovert. Maybe that's what happened, but I went into my introvert and I don't ever remember being there in a really public place before like this. And I just thought, well, let's see what, so I went with it, which was a surprise to me. I considered my options. I could bolt. Well, I don't want to do that. That's not who I am. I could be unpleasant. Well, I don't want to do that. That's not who I am. Who am I? And I thought, well, I'll just give a small response to, and I did, but it was very hesitant and I was just not comfortable. It was clear I wasn't comfortable. And then I was just quiet. I didn't even come with a concluding statement, which is pretty much me. And I just sat back like, well, thank you so much, Sandra. And now let's go to, it's like, oh my, got myself out of the spotlight. I felt pretty good about that. However, I was more than uncomfortable. It was becoming painful, not just for me, but for the quiet young lady across the way. And for other women, the next person was comfortable. She'd been part of the group. And she was going on and on about her work and her life and her work life. And I really didn't care about her work life. So I kept looking at the clock. Like we weren't given any guidance at all. I didn't know how long. And I thought, is this going to go on for an hour? I don't want to sit here for an hour. Whatever am I going to do? I want to go, but I don't want to be rude. Again, I want to live within my character, but what am I going to do to alleviate the pressure? Have you ever been there? Have you ever been there? So at one point, I noticed in another one of the groups, somebody got up and left the room and went obviously to the back where the ladies' room back for the bathrooms, and then came back. And I thought, okay, so it's all right to move around, but if I get up and just head for the door, that won't be so good. What am I going to do? So that's what I was doing. I checked myself inside, and I knew it wasn't comfortable, and I wanted to get out of there. But how do I respond? What are my options? Then I noticed someone else got up and walked in a different direction, went into the kitchen. And I thought, aha, there we go. So I picked up my teacup and put my napkin in there. And I walked out to the kitchen and put my stuff my trash in the bucket. And I said, I'm just not feeling safe here. I need to go. I'm going home. And so I went to the other person so that it wouldn't look like I was completely bolting. I didn't have to explain the whole thing, but I'm going home. I went and I picked up my purse and everything and started to head toward the door. And then the other women, sort of that, oh, Sandra, goodbye, Sandra. I got in my car and I went home. And actually, it was the most amazing thing. Again, because I did get myself out of there. I wasn't going to sit for an hour and being that uncomfortable for an hour for no reason. And how do you have a group and not know what it's about and not have a leader? How do you have a leader even when somebody steps in that I said, I at least would have created a safe environment. What the heck? Sandra, almost as if Holy Spirit, it was almost audible. Sandra, that wasn't your responsibility. That wasn't your responsibility. And actually, you did a good job. And I was pleased. I wasn't nasty. I was pleasant as I could be, but I tended myself. I knew what I needed to do, and I got myself out of there in as pleasant a way as possible. So it was amazing. As I continued to think about it, and my body, I got home, I'm not far away, my body calmed down, and I realized I'd done a good job of taking care of myself without causing damage to other people. I was responsible for me, which if you look at Acts chapter 5, ask Sapphira, yeah, we're pretty much responsible for ourselves. And I'm in the process. That was terrific transformation marker about how I put off the old Sandra and practice putting on that new Sandra. It's happening and it's exciting. It's really exciting. All right, that's my transformation for today. I really pray that it blesses you. Bye-bye.